Hi everyone, it's Nicky, and today I'm joined by Michael Shaw, CEO and founder of Envision VR. Michael, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. Mate, you've got a pretty cool product for the real estate industry. Why don't you tell the guys watching who you are and what you do?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so thanks for having us first. Yeah, so we're trying to use the latest mobile technology in terms of your phone, your tablet, and VR headsets to be able to allow selling agents to be able to sell off the plan. So to be able to visualize a space before it exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot, and I've been in this. Obviously, I've been selling property for a while. I've done some project stuff, and back then it was just this with the CGI photos. That's pretty much it. And then you had the headset that cost, I imagine, a couple of $1,000 for a headset, and I know those photos aren't cheap, but technology has moved so far these days, hasn't it, that you can look at it on your phone, an iPad, a tablet. They're really all the tools and agent needs these days, aren't they, to watch this stuff, or for someone, for a buyer to look at this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's our big point of difference. We understand that the current way that property is sold off the plan is through floor plans and renders. But really that's not enough for someone to have enough certainty in knowing what they're about to buy. And like, this is sometimes the biggest purchase someone's ever making in their life. And so what we've realized is that everyone has a mobile phone, everyone has a tablet, and soon to have their headset. So we've been able to use those models that are already done to make those renders, and we've made them so that you can actually then now walk around that model in terms of that space before it exists. So really allowing you to pretty much, in effect, buy an off-the-plan property like it's already finished, and kind of allowing you to see the future, really.
And Andrew's from your team's given me a demo before we sat down to do this today, and it's I have to admit, it's pretty cool. But this really came to fruition around COVID, didn't it? Now, just from some of the stuff that I heard, as far as people obviously not wanting to share headsets, and people not wanting to mess up their hair and things like that. How much has this kind of technology impacted buyers? How are they embracing it?
Yeah, well, buyers are our strongest advocates because, as I mentioned before, they're the ones that have the biggest pain point of understanding what they're spending their life savings on. So for us to be able to, one, give them that certainty in that future space, but two, just make it really convenient for them because they can access it on their own phone or from their own house as well. So you can actually see the space remotely as well.
And even from another country. Because we're starting to see, borders are opening back up, but we're starting to see, people coming back into Australia now. So it's cool on that point. So
that's actually one of our biggest selling propositions is that we allow you to be able to unlock a bigger market because previously you had to get people to come to your local area, go to the display suite, where now you can actually pretty much take that display suite and make it global. So you can have interstate buyers or overseas buyers.
Now, that's a really good point, the display suite. This can almost make that non-existent.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the answer is yes. Like we've pretty much made a mobile display suite. However, I will also say that our tool really enhances a display suite as well. So we have the ability to cast onto big TVs, and so you can have the ability to walk around a full apartment in your display suite. So we definitely think there's still need for display suite, but you also now don't have to have one.
So could this be used as something, so as a sales, and I'm already a sales agent, could this be used something similar to the pre-market strategy? So before you go to market, so before you go and do the display suite, put a teaser out and say, this is what's coming, and I suppose get a feel.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we're actually finding different agents are using it in multiple different ways. So, but the answer is yes. So that is definitely one strategy which we've had people, agents want to do. So some agents, like I said, they either just want to do without a display suite and they want to just sell out of either their office that they already have or sell remotely. Some want to have a pulled back, like a cheaper display suite where they're using this to be able to mean that they don't have to actually build an example apartment. And then others are just still doing a full display suite, but then this is now their remote way of selling overseas or other things.
And I suppose when it comes to the pre-market stuff as well, obviously I'm in the social digital space, you can be doing this with your marketing as far as your Facebook, your Google ads, your TikTok ads, your Instagram ads, Twitter, everyone sort of uses that. You can be doing links to these sites or these platforms, so as people can be sitting there, even though they may not be in transaction mode. Andy was just showing me a place you guys have got, I think in Brisbane, on the Gold Coast, and to be able to, I don't know, I think we're in the penthouse, to be able to see the water and look down and actually see the buildings beside you, or actually see the surf club down the road. It literally was like looking out the window.
Yeah, that's great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. I think for people who, again, were not in transactional mode, and that's where we see a lot of, especially on the social side of things, you're hooking those, I wouldn't say they're emotional buyers, but they're not actively looking, but you're opening up your buyer pool to a completely different audience.
Yeah, well, I mean, what you touched on there is our tool is not just a selling tool or a selling, it's also a marketing tool as well, like, but it is super visual and one, it can be shared like at scale. So one, you can create great content from it. It can be shared on your socials, but that experience can be shared as well. So it's a marketing and selling tool.
So from the marketing perspective, obviously to get business at the moment is tricky for everybody. How can an agent use your platform to win the business? So how can a project agent who's pitching to a developer to get the business, how can this help them win it over another company?
Well, right now, like, we are still a new company, and right now it's a point of difference. Like, you're now to sell to that developer in terms of to get the listing. You're saying that we're using the latest technology that's going to unlock multiple markets that you weren't having access to before in terms of interstate or overseas. But you're also going to give those buyers more confidence. Like, there's studies to show that having a virtual experience of a space creates so much more engagement by your potential buyers. So it's unlocking new markets, giving them something that's more exciting, and just more engagement.
And you can get to market quicker.
Exactly. So that's what I mean. That's one of the biggest things, is that you can be selling selling straight away.
So how long would it take? So let's just say I'm a sales agent, you're a developer. How long would it take to, because I understand there's prep work that needs to go on behind the scenes to get to this point. How long would it take roughly from signing an agency agreement or developer agreement, whatever that is, I'm not sure, to getting this ready to be marketed on socials or on your website or QR codes? Like, how long, what's the turnaround time?
I mean, it really, the design needs to be done still, like, so because we are making something that looks lifelike, it looks real, and so we need to, the architect or the developer still needs to know what their finishes are.
We need to know that for your other market collateral as well.
Exactly. So as long as that is finished, it's about a 4 week, 6 week turnaround, depending on to let the scale of the project, whether they're doing a whole project or just one apartment.
And I suppose that does save you the time as well. Whereas if someone's doing a display suite, you might, in some cases, have to find a space, build that. This is very quick. So you're still doing that. You're still, like you said, you're still building the suite, but turnaround time's in a couple of weeks versus you've got to wait a couple of months for that to be finished.
Exactly. And also the cost difference is the big thing as well.
And that would be your point of difference. If you are an agent out there who is pitching for the business, going to a developer and saying, this is my point of difference, we're going to get you to the market quicker, we're going to do the social stuff, we're going to do the email stuff, bang, while we're building the suite. So that's
definitely
okay. Now, house and land packages, that is what I also found interesting. You do it with them as well.
So we don't just deal with developers. Obviously, our solution for them is great, but we also we can visualize any space, any space that's unbuilt, or so that across delivered homes as well. So we work with a whole bunch of volume home builders. So Montgomery Homes, Holland Hart. And there's just to list a few, but and so they have a whole catalog of designs, sometimes 100 to 200 designs, and it's very expensive to build a display suite, a display home, and so like that can be $1 million plus to build a display home, and if you've got 200 designs, it's just not practical to build all them. So we allow those agents, so those volume home builders, to be able to showcase their whole catalog on our platform, and they only need to build them their mainly showcase designs.
So it's a very economical way to get property sold and out to the market as well. Okay.
Definitely.
And I love it for that reason, because we're all looking for better ways to streamline our business, get the product to to our audience, because we were talking earlier about COVID and Facebook Lives and agents walking through properties. I know a lot of agents out there, and this is just on the resi side, who walk through with the phone. They'll do these ones, and half the time you can't see the home because the agent's in there, or they'll flick through the kitchen. But this is the sort of thing whereas you can take your time, and that's. I had a really good look around the place you've got in Brizzy, had a look around the apartment, and you really get a good feel for it while you're sitting on the lounge. And I think with convenience, especially if you've got, families looking at this stuff, where you've got working couples, they can make a decision as far as, you know what, that's great. And then it comes down to with your other marketing, even if that's just a teaser, you get them in, you get the inquiry, then when the display suite's open, you invite them to come through and all that kind of stuff. So Michael, that's all great. The direction for the future, where do you think this platform is?
Yeah, well, I mean, to touch on your point there, like, and everyone would know with their new buying habits that we've all kind of adopted these days, is you want to do everything from your home, you want to do it on your mobile phone. And so we're allowing that buyer to be able to see a future space from the comfort of their own home on their mobile device that they already have. So you can get that certainty of walking through a space from the comfort of your home. But then not only that, we have features for them, the agent, to then do guided viewings. So that means the agent can come in and actually then guide you around the space and show you around the space. So in terms of kind of linking that into your question about where do we see the future, we see the future of selling off the plan is as easy as that, is that you can go through any space and any project, and then the agent can also communicate to you from your comfort of your own home. So
I can be in Sydney and I can have someone overseas who wants to have a virtual inspection. They can go through the property virtually on their phone, on their iPad, but you're there with them and you can actually see that you're standing in the bedroom. So you can actually see where they are and explain the benefits. And if you turn around here, you'll notice you can have some related appliances, or you'll notice the marbles are finished. So you're like, there's two sides to it. They can have their own tour, or they can still have, so they can maybe go through and have a look at it first. Great. Show the husband, show the wife, show the kids, whatever. Okay, let's get mum and dad and the uncle and all that kind of thing to come together and have a group inspection pretty much, but still with the agent virtually. That is pretty cool. Like, that's actually pretty cool. To be able to ask an agent a question while you're there, and especially if it's overseas. Okay, mate. Michael, look, thank you very much for sitting down with me today. We're going to put your details everywhere. Guys, if you are in projects, house and land packages, or you just want to have a chat about this in general, we're going to drop Michael and Envision VR's contact details everywhere. Feel free to get in touch, mate. Thank you very much for sitting down with me today.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
Cheers.